in a two-way dialogue.
I really never really, I mean, I've thought of it, but I never really thought, conceived that I, had anything to talk about sometimes.
You have no trouble talking about things when you come here.
And that's true. And I think there's a presence, and again, I have to thank everybody because there's an energy that exists when everybody's here that allows it to be a little bit easier.
Well, I understand that. But there's also a presence with you when your guide is speaking to you. And the presence is your guide. And that presence makes it easier too. I'm saying loosen up and consider something you hadn't considered, like having a conversation. When I say to everybody to listen and to have joining, I mean have dialogue. Have a conversation, have involvement with this guidance. I've told Paul before that I'm not some infinite answering machine. I'm your brother, and your guides are your brothers and sisters. To be with, to be involved with. If you're still just listening, you can still be detached, right? Still separate. Dialogue means involvement, which means no exclusive separateness. This is what it's about. When I say let someone in, I mean let someone in and then play with them. Be involved. That's the way you break the isolation.
That makes much more sense to me.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because maybe no one else thought of that either. There are a set of 3 books called Conversations with God. It wasn't entitled Things God Said to Me. Explore that with curiosity and openness. All of you, please, explore that with curiosity and openness. Do it with a light touch. Don't listen seriously. It's easier than you are expecting. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hands. The lady in the white top on the aisle.
Yes, I'm in a relationship, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if I am supposed to stay or if I'm supposed to leave it in a loving way. And I have not been able to do this. Even though part of me says I should leave it, I have not been able to do this. And I've struggled with this for just about 14 years. I want to know what I should do and what's going on.
Well, you must get off the fence. You must give up your indecision. And you must either leave or make commitment to the relationship. Either way will bring clarity. And so I would actually suggest that you make commitment to this relationship and engage in it more fully than you have been able to in your wondering state. As long as you have been wondering what to do, your level of commitment and involvement has suffered. It cannot help but have suffered. Simply because you cannot be fully committed and wondering at the same time. Now, the relationship is not abusive, so I encourage you to make commitment and discover the clarity that comes from that.
What if the other person is not committed?
Pardon?
What if the other person is not committed?
You're going to have to ask whether or not the lack of commitment is a result of your lack of commitment of 14 years. And if there's a possibility that your lack of commitment has prompted or promoted a lack of commitment on your partner's part, then correct the problem. Bring your commitment.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Do your best to win him back.
The problem hasn't been to win him back, it's been to get rid of him. It's definitely been a push me, pull me. I leave and then it's like I can't stay away, but I'm not happy with it when I have it.
Commitment with love has wonderful healing powers. Love with lack of commitment is not particularly nourishing. I'm saying bring the nourishment back. Nurture the relationship. You might have a miracle happen. Okay. Hands. The lady in the black and white top.
Recently, I've been receiving guidance that my life is going to be changing quite a bit here in the near future as to my living location and employment. And I'm wondering if I'm hearing legitimate guidance or if my ego is entertaining me.
You have been hearing clearly. That's the end of the answer.
Thank you very much.
You may pursue it further. We could have a dialogue. Oh, just spit it out.
Well, it seems to me that if those things are legitimate, then there are a number of things that seem obvious that they're going to change in my life. And this could be a very uncomfortable time for me. And
Or it could be amazingly comfortable in ways you hadn't expected. Now, go back to your guidance and have a conversation. Well, if this is true, what about that? Pursue the conversation to the point of greater clarity. And stop making assumptions along the way about the conclusion. I want you to develop a camaraderie with your guide, a friendship, an involvement. So ask more questions, if for no other reason than to further establish the line of communication so that it's solid and easier. You see? You do not have to talk about important things only with your guide. You can just say, "Are you there?" "Yes." "You're really there?" "Yes." And although that might seem not particularly significant or enlightening, the fact is that the interchange is making the experience a more familiar experience and one that you can trust into more easily. Ask more questions about this and don't make any assumptions about what it ultimately means. The questions you have today about it are the ones to engage your guide with. Have a conversation. Have a give and take. You're speaking with one who is awake, and so every bit of the conversation will be lovingly used to promote your clarity and your greater experience of your wholeness. So if something is going to happen, it must be something wonderful, and there must be a wonderful way in which it is going to happen, and you can dare to be curious about that instead of assuming that based on your past experience and what you know right now, it's going to be really difficult. Until you get more facts, you don't have enough facts to know whether it's going to be difficult, do you? You can only imagine. That's ego.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hands? The gentleman against the wall in the back.
Well, my question is about dialogue. I have been sitting down and allowing words in a not really fully trustful manner. So I'm back again with another CYA question.
Another what?
Cover my ass type
Oh.
question. Am I hearing mostly correctly?
You are hearing mostly correctly, yes. And again, as I said just a moment ago, persisting in dialoguing is what establishes the line of connection, you might say, more solidly. Accuracy cannot be your requirement in the beginning. In fact, having a requirement is willful. It isn't part of being in your peace. So, as you continue to dialogue, whether you're hearing it perfectly or not, your capacity to hear correctly increases. And I want everyone to know that his concern was Paul's concern in the beginning, and none of you in the beginning will be positive that it isn't some part of you making it up. It's in the persisting that it all becomes clear, you see. Continue.
Well, I seem to have two venues here. I seem to have my guide and then another awakened one, I'll say, that we're working on almost two different, I would say, subjects. So I go to my guide for day-to-day type conversations, and this is to be something different. And I guess that's where the confusion lies. Is it actually two, or am I just breaking my guide up into two different people?
Why haven't you asked your guide this question?
I have.
And?
He said it wasn't him.
So you're not breaking your guide into two?
Correct.
And what is your perplexity?
Who is the other one?
Have you asked the other one?
Yes, I have.
And you have trouble trusting?
Yes, I do.
Ah. This is where you put your ass on the line, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to answer the question.
I was afraid of that.
See, he's talking about reluctance to make commitment to a relationship. And the only thing that's truly going to clarify things for you is if you make commitment to the relationship and become involved. Your ego wants to make a game out of this. And that will delay you putting your ass on the line. You need to practice PMAOTL. Put my ass on the line. Again, it has to do with going through that phase of risk. And if you don't engage the risk, you will not find out there is a God. What's the worst thing that could happen if you did it? Do it and find out.
I will. Thank you.
I actually think you mean it. It's like the old saying, you can't steer a car that's parked at the curb. If you'll pull away from the curb, even if you're going in the wrong direction, you can at least modify the direction. But if indecision keeps you at the curb, you can't change direction. Nothing can happen. Bring the element of commitment and the element of trust into play, and marvelous things will happen. I promise you.
I believe you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're ready for this. I promise you that too. Just one moment. You see, everyone is afraid of letting love in. It's in different terminology with each of you. Come on, people. Let it in. Okay. If you would pass the microphone forward there.
Just a question about commitment. How long do you last? Commitment to me is something that's important. I agree. You don't want to be on the fence. You want to be committed. But how long do you commit yourself until it's the wrong direction, or you need, another direction? I mean, is there a sense within you for commitment, or is it spinning your wheels?
First of all, right now, I am committed to you. You have my full attention. No one else does. Now, that's what I mean by commitment. It has nothing to do with duration, length of time. It has to do with how you are being present with someone when you're present with them. And if I'm talking to you, but thinking about someone else and what needs to be done elsewhere, the whole quality of my being present with you would be altered. My reason for being present with you makes a difference too. It may be that I want to get something from you, and I'm fully committed to getting something from you. But that doesn't mean I'm present with you. When I'm present with you, I'm letting you in, and I'm having no agendas for you. I am attentive to you, not attentive to agendas of mine. You see? How long do you do that? You do it forever. But that's not the point. Because it's a wholeness of the moment you're in now. If each of you will do this with another, you will either find the involvement with that other deepening and solidifying and stabilizing and harmonizing, or you will find it disintegrating, separating, and the two of you going your own way. But not because you had an agenda to make something happen. It's because you brought yourself fully in the moment you're present with that one for one purpose only, to let them in, to be present for them, to acknowledge them. Not to acknowledge yourself, and your goals, you see? Does that answer your question? The experience of the wholeness of creation is accessed, I'm going to say, by your willingness to be wholly in the moment with it. And the best way you can do that from a separated place is to be willing to be wholly present with something in your experience. A cat, a wife, a partner, some other cars on the freeway, and so on. Be wholly present with it. And especially if you're wholly present with it, with the curiosity to see God there. Now you're talking. Not an agenda to see what you want to see, but a curiosity to see God there. That's how you let in. That's how you be with. That's what commitment is. And it will only ever be happening in the moment of conscious awareness you're experiencing now. You see? It's a good thing to know this, and I'm glad you asked. Would you pass the microphone forward?
I've been happily practicing that and feeling increased love coming from me and also in the experience.
Coming through you, actually.
Coming through me, yes. And there's situations or circumstances in my life where I'm distracted by the, quote, evidence of what I'm seeing, like drunks sleeping on the street. And I say over and over, I know this isn't the truth of him. I would like to see the truth. And I'm practicing this at home with my son. And there's still distraction by the apparent evidence. And it isn't a complete experience for me. What I would like is the experience that you had in seeing the truth of Lazarus and whoever else you healed, not in the healing of them, but in seeing really the absolute truth that God knows. And I don't want it just sometimes. I want it all the time.
No, that's not what you want. What you want is the experience of loving that one. In the moment, you're present with them. Without being distracted from loving them because of the evidence. There's just no way you're going to become a highly evolved spiritual mother hen that by her non-manipulative spiritual ways fixes every little thing up.